Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time you're seeing my face, hi, my name is Katrina and welcome to my channel. My channel is all about focusing on becoming your highest self, building your self-worth, and growing as a person. And so this month, the entire month of November, is all about building out great habits to start the new year going into the next year. And so today we are focusing on evening routines. And if you go back on my channel, I already have a video about just building routines in general, and we'll also be talking about morning routines as well. But let's get into how to build the perfect evening routine so that you can have the best morning ever and start your day. So today I'm gonna give you guys my top 7 tips for making the best evening routine possible. And why do I feel qualified to talk about this? I've been building out my evening routine for like the past 3 years. It has taken a long time to get to where I am today and be able to wake up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning consistently. And I do believe that it's not my morning routine that allows me to wake up that early, but it's my evening routine that sets me up for success the next day. So without further ado, let's get into the 7 tips. Tip number 1. Always set up your evening routine so that your willpower doesn't need to be heavily utilized. And what do I mean by that? Let's break that down into something a little simpler. If there's something you need to do every day that's part of your habits, part of your goals for the year, but it's not really something you enjoy, it's something that stresses you out, it requires a lot of energy, a lot of willpower to do, such as going to the gym if you're someone that never went to the gym. Adding that into your evening routine may not be the best plan. As shown in The Power of Habits, our willpower naturally decreases throughout the day. When we're refreshed, we're more likely to do things that we don't want to do. If you run out of things that you're not willing to do by the end of the day, it's gonna be so much harder to start this routine because it's gonna be something you don't enjoy, something that you really have to force yourself to do, and your willpower is at an all-time low because you're so tired. You already accomplished so much in the day. Make sure that your evening routine is full of tasks that wind you down, relax you, and are things that you're looking forward to do. Tip number 2. Complete all your grooming tasks as early as possible. Now, what do I mean by that? So normally, on average, I think most people brush their teeth in the evening, they wash their face, they may take a shower, take vitamins, whatever it is. I try to do all of those grooming tasks as early as possible in the evening. So if I'm putting my hair in a bonnet, we're doing that as soon as I get home. If I'm gonna take a shower before I even eat dinner, I'm taking that shower. I'm washing my face. I don't brush my teeth because I still have to eat something, right? But I do all of those things as early as possible because I hate doing them when I'm tired. Like if I get sleepy after eating dinner, I want the shortest list possible so that I can just crawl into bed as quickly as possible. So try to do all those things as soon as you get home. It is fine if you wash your face at 6 p.m. and you don't go to bed till 8:30. It's actually okay. If anything, it's gonna even help your skin because it gives a chance for all the things you're putting on your skin to settle in before you start rubbing your face all around in your sheets, right? Exactly. Tip number 3. Eat as early as you possibly can to avoid any digestion issues while you're trying to fall asleep. So as I just said, as soon as I get home, whether that's at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, I always go straight into the shower, do most of my grooming for the evening, and then I eat dinner. I try to eat dinner as early as possible because I've noticed, and for those who have ultra human rings, or if you have an Aura ring, it'll probably tell you what time is best for you to eat, and it's gonna most likely be earlier than later in relation to the time that you're going to bed. Because you're releasing energy, you're releasing chemicals into your body. When you're eating, you're digesting, and that takes a lot of work for your body. Whether you realize it or not, your body is working hard to digest your food. It is also giving you energy because you're eating carbohydrates. Most of us eat some form of like grain, pasta, a sugary drink. If you're eating that in the evening, it's gonna start to keep you up. You're gonna turn into that little kid, and it's gonna be really hard to just wind down because you're gonna have a sudden burst. So try to eat, I would say 2 hours before you go to bed. Some doctors are gonna tell you like 4 or 5. I know that's not realistic for a lot of people. So really, as soon as you get home, try to eat as early as possible. That way you're more likely to just be able to lie down, fully digested, and head to sleep. Now, tip number 4, start your evening routine at least an hour before you need to go to bed. And let's remember, the time you go to bed is not the same time that you need to be asleep. I don't think that's on my list, but that's a bonus tip. You should not be going to bed. If you are getting up at 5 a.m., you want to get 8 hours of sleep. That means you need to be asleep at 9 o'clock. Not getting into bed at 9 o'clock, but asleep at 9 o'clock. So if that is your bedtime, then you should be starting your evening routine at like 7:30, 8 o'clock. And you know yourself better than I do, right? If it takes you 10 minutes to fall asleep, okay, cool. You can get in the bed at like 8:45. But for me, my brain is moving 1,000 miles a minute. So I need to be in the bed at 8:30 so that I can actually most likely be partially asleep, not even deep sleep, but partially asleep by 9 o'clock at night. If that is you, then you should be starting your evening routine at like 7 o'clock, 7:30 at night. That means winding down, turning down the lights, starting to go through like that grooming routine that you didn't finish earlier in the evening, drinking any like mocktails, whatever you're gonna do, and start winding down earlier so that you are lifting up those sheets whenever you are supposed to be in the bed, okay? That's so important. So start it early, make sure that it's slow, that you don't have to rush yourself to get through your routine, because if you start rushing, you're gonna start waking up. You wanna keep this a slow, simple, relaxing process because you've already done everything you're supposed to do today. This is your reward, right? Your evening routine is your reward, and you're setting yourself up for tomorrow because you know you conquered today, okay? Tip number 5, avoid overhead lighting during your evening routine. So when I get home, I do get home pretty late, like 6:30, 7 o'clock from work, which I consider late because I go to bed at like 8:30. But during that time, I will not, like these lights I have on right now, will not be on when it's time for me to go to bed. I actually bought some backlights to light like my tree, my mirrors, and I don't use any lights that are really above my head at any point in the evening. It is all lamps that are standing on their own. If I need to use anything in my bathroom, I'll turn on the shower light and not the light that's gonna be right on my face, because it helps your body understand that it's evening. Historically, we had the sun and only the sun and like a few candles here or there, but it was never as bright during the day as it was at night. And so your body is looking for those signs to start your melatonin production. If you do not provide it those signs, it's gonna be difficult for your body to kind of like, oh, okay, I guess I can slow down. It's okay, she's ready to go to sleep. Please help your body out. Turn down the lights. If you have smart lights, put them at like 50%. If you have any type of like cue bulbs or you have a timer, you can also set a timer so they start getting dimmer and dimmer as the nighttime gets closer to your bedtime. But in general, just don't have overhead lights on. Don't do that to yourself, okay? Tip number 7. So this kind of relates to tip number 2 as well, which is to do all the demanding tasks earlier. So when you're organizing your evening routine, let's say you want to read a book, you want to do different things, you try to do those things as early as possible, right? And then once the less demanding tasks come up, like, you know, washing your face, if that's not something that's hard for you. It's hard for me, so I put that earlier in the evening. Or like reading a book, listening to a meditation video. Those are the things that take less effort, and you're gonna put them later in your routine than earlier. If there are any pills you need to take those earlier, because it sucks when you forget to take your medication, okay? Do things as early as you possibly can, and that way you can go nice and slow. As I've said 1,000 times in this video, keep it slow. That's one of the keys, is to be able to go slow and take your time so you can enjoy this experience, and that it's a relaxing and luxuriating experience for you at the end of the day. Okay, and our last tip, tip number 7, is to create a luxurious experience around yourself before you go to bed. So when I say that, it's related to some of the other tips, but we're trying to hit all your senses: sight, smell, hearing, taste. It's great if you set a routine where you're drinking the same thing around when you go to bed, whether that's water, warm milk, tea, whatever. It's also important to make sure that your lights are low. We talked about that earlier, but also maybe try to have the same candle that you use in the same evenings, right? Have that consistency there so your body knows when it smells that, when it sees the lights getting lower, a certain type of music playing, your brain starts to relax. And that way you can start taking those mental steps and you're like, oh, it's bedtime. Okay, I'm ready to go. All right, so those are my 7 top tips for you guys. If you would like more structure and trying to become your better self, I do have a workbook that is linked down below called Becoming You. Definitely would suggest it. The first module is actually linked below for free. So feel free to check it out. And if it's your vibe, you can get the rest of the book. I think right now it's priced at like $9.97, so it's not anything crazy. It's about a 40-page workbook to help you become your best self, looking in the past and setting yourself up for the future. But with that, I will see you guys next week with another video about building out your routines. And until then, have a great day. Love you guys. Bye.